Now we're going to talk about the 2013 answer. Remember, if you share my previous video, and take a screenshot for me, I will send you the sample answer. For this question, we actually have a letter to the editor. So first things first, you have to describe the situation, right? That why people are complaining about it, outline the point of view, and why they're unreasonable. So remember, based on the marking scheme, most people, okay, we candidates had difficulty clearly stating what the complainant said, or actually the details of the complaint. And most people made the mistake of actually talking about more than one complaint. Now, why shouldn't you say more than one complaint is because you want to go in depth about it, okay? Also, weaker candidates often can't state why these arguments of the complainants, okay, were unreasonable. So actually, let's look at our sample 5-star answer. Okay, so first things first, we have Dear Sir or Madam, because this is a letter to editor, and this is the proper way to do it. So here, first, I'm outlining the major situation. So I'm carefully introducing the topic about Hong Kong, and the situation is that Hong Kong is a lively city, and that the fact that people are complaining about taking too much time to go to work, okay, because they couldn't get a seat in their KMB route, okay, or the conditions of the MTR during rush hour. But first, before I say that Hong Kong is actually pretty good in comparison to its metropolitan counterparts, okay, so already I'm comparing that Hong Kong is actually a really good city to live in, okay. And then secondly, I'm introducing the complainants. So it's quite mind-boggling to observe recent complaints made. Now, this fits exactly, okay, what the question says, which is describe the situation which some people complain about. So the point of view, I'm actually saying it's quite mind-boggling because they shouldn't complain about it, right? Based on these letters, it would seem the state of mass transit in Hong Kong is deplorable, overstated. So remember, it seems that. So I'm writing the fact that people are saying that by complaining it's suggesting that Hong Kong has a really bad transit system. But it's unreasonable. So that's why I say I challenged this notion. Now these are some debate terms that you would probably see a lot. So here, now remember, you're arguing that the complaints are unreasonable. So you have to say first, they have a lack of perspective. So that's your point. And then later on, you go into your evidence. So the evidence for this is we wrote that the fact that, you know, other countries or other cities, okay, don't have what Hong Kong has. So that is actually your evidence, and that's factual, okay, and that's a valid argument to make. Next, second thing is you're saying it's unreasonable because it's fast and efficient, right? And the fact is that, you know, people who are dissatisfied with the crowding, they just need to say that no other system in the world are capable of transportation in such an amount of people. So by making the argument that people are unreasonable, I'm actually arguing, okay, against their point. So you can see that this is actually a typical debate question, even though it's a letter to editor, because you're trying to argue against what people are saying. And here, now remember, in the marking scheme it says that the approach was also valid. In fact, only stronger candidates approach the question from this angle. So what's the angle? Is directing discussion to the complainant himself. So what we actually could say is asking, why are people complaining? What's wrong with them? Okay, why are they so unreasonable, right? Remember, the question is about, right, unreasonableness, okay? So here it says, those who have complained against transportation in Hong Kong need only to spend some time traveling before realizing how much they've taken things for granted. So basically, I'm saying that they're taking things for granted. They have it way too good, okay? And of course, in the marking scheme, they said, okay, people have a pension, right, for complaining. That's also a good point to make. So, if you actually notice this question, it's just another form of arguing, not necessarily a letter to editor or talking about complaints in general. It's not even a letter of complaint. So be careful of that. And if you take my debate class, you will probably get all the terms that you need for this.